Yep, hello there. This is Guillermo Gage or Daniel Eric or Williver. I am making this video on 2025, October 3rd. And I got an update for the past 3 days. That's the final day of September, September 30th, and then October 1st and 2nd. And did pretty well on the not eating added sugar, processed sugar, and also avoided Reddit and X.com, also known as Twitter, and even the Grok, chatbot on there I avoided. And I'm also going to take a look at this. There you go. I might change up the camera here. The green beans, there's a few more remaining in the season. Here, I'll switch the camera. I just spent like 25 to 30 or so minutes. Basically, despite the fact that there's not a lot left, I thought maybe I could promote a little bit more green bean growth with better sun exposure by chopping down some weeds and such. So this right here is actually some big tall weed that, because it has branches and support branches, I ripped it out from this area. Again, maybe I could have maybe I could have done more stuff this year, just like I did previous years before I started making this YouTube video series. Oh boy, that fell down. Okay, so staking this weed branch, I try to pluck off some leaves. That way, strip some leaves off. That way, you could get more exposure, sun exposure, and it could be a little more clean. But it kind of gives off, this was already growing, right? And so on the off chance that anything more grows, little vines grow, that little thing, okay, you got some little dead things there that probably aren't going to grow into anything. All right, there we go. And you got, we're supposed to keep them off the ground, so, and keep them out of foliage and whatnot, so there's no shade and stuff for like bugs to get to them. And you got these kind of shrivelly ones. Probably aren't going to do much there. Also, just out of practice, I want to do this to keep in practice. Okay, this one might grow. I think I'm satisfied with the ones on here. It's October 3rd, so we're not going to get much more growth here. I thought there was another big section, or was that the section that I got to? So this might be the final green beans. There might be a few more. But what I got to do next year is gather branches before, they gather branches as they're falling off. When it's springtime, gather the branches that fell off in the winter, and just gather them up before they get kind of moved around or someone else takes them or something. And then the tallest ones, plant those in with a lot of variation with the branches. Get those even before the green beans are planted or other things. That way it makes the little latches work. I could also probably make and tie up the more sticks and whatnot, make a lattice framework. But yeah, this is, I'm not really seeing much anything else. There might be a few little ones growing out there somewhere, but that's about the end of it. I got a decent haul. So, see, there's little things like this that might grow into something. But, you got little stuff like this. That's why we want higher branches, so they're not, exposed to the ground so much. I might wait for those to grow a little bit more. Get this. Can we keep it? There you go. I think I lifted that up. So, all right then. I'm going to make the next section of the video and talk about the other stuff I did. Yep, here's the next section of the video. It's now 9:49 a.m. on October 3rd. The next video clip pieces you're going to see are going to be taken. They were taken on September 30th. They were taken after I got home from work on Tuesday, September 30th. And basically what they are is a couple minutes explaining that somebody at work gave me this big fudge chocolate, cake. And they do it because he's like, oh, I purchased this, and sometimes I purchase too much, and then he wants to give it away. And this is something that's happened to me numerous times with different people, and sometimes it's unhealthy food, and I accept it because, well, if you didn't, then they're going to eat it. And so, however, I want to see it as a challenge to maintain portion control. Even though I'm skinny, it's too much sugar is still bad. And basically, it was a cake that I divided up into 14 pieces. Very little of it has been eaten since then, over the past 2 days, like 2.5 days. So very little of it has been eaten. And here's that video, basically showing me chopping. It is now 6:39 p.m. Oh, just turned 6:40 p.m. on September 30th. Yeah, the previous video was covering September 39th, but it was taken after midnight, September 30th. This cake right here, I'm going to, as you see here, a sixth of it is 27 grams of added sugar. So basically, it's 162 grams for the whole thing. So a tenth of it is 16.2 grams. This is clearly in like 5 pieces. So like this is 16.2 grams. Wait, is that true? No, no, yeah, it's yeah, a fifth of it. Yeah, a tenth of it is 16.2. Yeah, so it's 16.2. This remaining portion would have been. It's obviously not divided up even, so that's why part of my goal is to consume way less of it. And so I'm just gonna divide this up so I can get a visual idea. So this is a cake that I received at work. I could have just left it at the freezer at work and told that guy, I'm trying to cut back on my sugar. But yep, so I have taken that cake and divided it up kind of close to equal size pieces, but they're kind of vary a little bit in size. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12, 13, 14 slices that, if you have it in the freezer, are kind of divided, will kind of maybe stay a little separate. But that is like 129.6 like grams of sugar, because that's 80% of 162 grams. And then the 14 pieces is like 9.25 grams. And so there's a way to even chop those pieces up diagonally. So there's the cake is like there's frosting on the side and there's frosting on the top. So you could have either the side part, or you cut it diagonally. It's either the side part with frosting or the top part with the frosting. That would be like 4 and 4.5, 4.625 grams of sugar. But maybe I might, have one or half of those, every other day or something. I don't know. But, yep. All right then. I'm gonna be on to the next part of the video. Yep. So let's talk about what I did on September 30th and then October 1st and 2nd. On September 30th, that was the Tuesday. I did that 9:55 to like 5 p.m. Shift at work. I got home like 5:45 or 6 p.m. No grocery shopping trip done that day. And from what I remember, that 6 p.m. to 10:34 p.m. range, one of the main things I did was for a cousin that I have. I had a cousin over at my house, and I put on the 2024 Flow movie because I thought that might float her boat. And yeah, I guess no pun intended. And yeah, so you just saw a poster of the motion picture Flow. And Yeah, it was cute. I've seen it before. I've shown it to other family members. I own a digital copy of it, and she even has a cat, and her cat liked it. And during that time, off and on, because I've already seen the movie, I went out. I went out into the lobby, and I just made a journal, made one of the recent journals. And when I got back, the movie was kind of starting to end. I ended up just being fascinated about the whole topic about like pets being fascinated by that animated 2024 movie Flow. And I think some of the time was on the smartphone looking up like articles about like pets liking it and watching like pet video reactions of it. And her white cat, she's got a little white kitty. It was kind of noticing it, maybe hearing some of the natural animal sounds. I ended up going to bed at like 10:34 p.m. Overall, I spent 2 hours and 15 minutes on the smartphone internet, probably not much on the internet on the laptop PC. And most of that was probably after getting home from work. Not a lot of it was in the morning before going to work. Actually, I'll check it. How much was I on the internet? How much was I on the internet on September 30th? Okay, if I check my internet history on September 30th. Oh, okay, yeah, there was a good chunk. From like 8:08 p.m. Oh yeah. Okay. So from like 6:21 to 6:21 p.m. to like 8:08 p.m. probably before I put the movie on. I think I put the movie on like 9 o'clock or something, 9 p.m. or something. So I guess what probably YouTube probably. Yeah, I guess various old pop culture thingies. Um, I had been interested in the past few days of seeing that motion picture Good Boy. Maybe I was looking. Yeah, it looks like I was looking up like show times for that, and I ended up seeing that. So that was on. So the next day, Wednesday the 1st, between 8:54 a.m. and 9:53 a.m. I was just kind of looking up how much money I got. Um, yeah, checking my bank statements and whatnot, and just checking the movie times because either like within the next couple days I wanted to see the movie Good Boy, that spooky horror movie from the dog point of view. Oh, here I'm gonna just put up a little poster of what that looks like. Yeah, so that's the Good Boy poster right there, and then um, what am I looking at here? Uh, so I got home like 6:15 p.m. Wasn't on the PC at all, but from about 9:28 to 10:57, I made another couple of videos, just commentary on some thoughts about the current culture, and that was yeah, it was like two separate videos, and overall I spent 2 hours and 57 minutes on the internet. That's on the smartphone only because I wasn't on the PC. 11:39 p.m. went to bed, and I was just trying to get by with the fact that I've been eating very little sugar. Um, I'm getting used to it, and overall, and Thursday the 2nd from 9:22 to 10 a.m. I was on the internet for 42 minutes, and it was like YouTube. It was cultural commentary videos. I don't know how I ended up on there. I have to like, yeah, remember you try to use the Nvidious instances, or you go on the laptop PC so I don't get distracted by the thumbnails. But there's like sometimes there's those police cam videos, like oh crazy stuff happens, and then probably a couple movie trailers. 10:30, I was going to work, home 5:41, and yeah, this is the day that I see the movie Good Boy on October 2nd. It was from 6:02 to 6 p.m. I did some push-ups. Let's see. How many push-ups did I do? From 6:02 and 23 seconds to 6:06 and 18 seconds. So just under 3 minutes. I'd like to do more. I did eight. I did 8 AOML4 AOML4. I didn't make it to the third AML that time. then 3 push-ups with a 10-pound backpack, and that is after not doing any for September 30th and October 1st. So I had went 2 days without doing them. Yeah, September 30th, October 1st, and I was like, I want to do those. I want to accomplish something. There's that window of time I had to run up and get the bus, so that's what I didn't do is another session. I went and took a shower, got back up, and yeah, I quite liked it. I quite liked the movie Good Boy. I got back home, even though it was only like a 74-minute like long movie. Um, I got home at like 9:47 p.m. and I quite liked it. I like contributing, to the movie theater. This is the movie theater that sells fancy food. So I actually had a caprese pizza and a pretzel sticks with cheese. And yeah, I got home, and what's nice, I got home and I fell asleep within like 16 minutes. I was on the smartphone on the bus trip back, but I didn't go on Reddit, didn't go on Twitter to look up what other people think of this Good Boy movie. I quite liked it. I decided, hey, I'm not going to just dive into it that much. I want to kind of think about it for myself for a while. Overall sugar usage was pretty minimal between the 30th, 1st, and 2nd. Because how's my sugar usage? How was my sugar usage? Oh crap! I thought I had it. Oh yeah, I do have a note on here. Okay, going to gallery. Okay, so that right here. Oh, here's my sugar usage. So on the 30th, ever since the 28th, the 28th, I've been 10 grams or less of sugar. So the 30th was the cereal, the ramen. Okay, Wednesday 30th was the cereal and the ramen, probably like 7-ish grams of added sugar, 7 or 8 grams of added sugar. And then Wednesday, the 1st, was 2.4 grams of that cake because I literally took one of those 9.25 gram sugar pieces and took a quarter of those pieces. So it's a tiny little fingertip piece. And it's about control, seeing that I can do it. And I think I had the one with like less frosting even. So that's and then 2 grams, and then I had 2 grams more. It's probably like more like 1 to 1.5 grams of natural sugar. So this is natural sugar, not added sugar. It's from a Culture Pop product. It's like a juice soda mixed with juice soda. I mixed it with some kefir, and because it's literally just juice, grape juice or something that's been like slightly carbonated, and so it's not even an added sugar. However, juice from fruit juices I consider basically the same as added sugar. If I drink a glass of orange juice, 2 big tall glasses of orange juice, but then I don't have anything that's officially added sugar, I'm gonna count that as effectively as bad for you as added sugar because it's just so pure and direct. But I had such a small amount. It was like because the whole glass thing is like 11 grams, right? And so I poured out a third in a cup and put it in the fridge, and then poured the rest into some milk kefir that I made myself, cultured it myself. And so that's like 4 grams. Half of that is like 2 grams, like 2 to 1.5 grams. So yeah, basically 6.1 to 6.6 grams. Yeah, 2.4, 3.4, 4.4. Yeah, Wednesday was like 4.4 grams of sugar. Thursday, the 2nd, I had a bit more. I had like half a thing, one of those little cake pieces. That's like 4.6 grams. The remainder of that kefir and Culture Pop juice was like 6.6 or so grams. Then I had that caprese pizza that had some balsamic vinegar dressing, kind of a little spiral swirl on top of the pizza. So maybe that's might be barely 10, grams because it's 6.7, 8, 9, maybe 9 or 10 grams. And I don't think there's a lot of added sugar in the cheese dip for the pretzel sticks. And yeah, so hovering around 10 grams. May had the remainder of the soda may had less than a gram of this another sip from the Culture Pop. Yeah, so it's maybe like hovering around 10 grams. And that's my sugar usage, and I think it's helping me out. So, what else? I quite like that motion picture Good Boy. I've been getting to bed early, and in terms of plastic usage, on the first and on the second new month, how's my plastic usage so far? Very minimal. I want to do better, but I did cave at work because I didn't have meals. But I didn't have a proper breakfast or bring something. So the day one, I had a ramen packet, one of the big ramen cups, and then on October 2nd, I had a little one, and it's got the plasticky lid. I also think I went Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? No, it was Thursday. I actually went grocery shopping just before I took off to do the push-ups and do the movie. I did go grocery shopping. Got a little plasticky piece from the milk carton, which is a necessary thing. It's necessary for me to get the grass-fed milk anyway. And so that's pretty minimal. Overall plastic usage for the month of September. This is how much plastic I used in September. These 2 bags here. So I'm gonna try to keep it low. Maybe it can be even less than that. And then maybe October can be even less than September. I think that's all I got to say for now. And oh yeah, I should put up a review for Good Boy. All right then, bye for now.